Hey, it's time to call. Oh, I didn't even put lipstick on or anything. This is just me, like, late afternoon.
Yeah, that hair's kind of flat.
Listen, I've been doing things. Hi, everybody. This is creative artivist work.
Hey, I took a nap. I'm feeling all
Some things are working better than others. Like my ability to, set it. See, the camera angles do change. I don't know if y'all know this is not our usual day. So if you're new here, welcome. We usually do this on Saturday at 3:30. Yeah.
I think we should start going later at night.
No, my brain does not work unless there's some, like, I need some hormonal supplement or something that makes my brain go better.
Well, here's the thing. I think that there's going to be a larger audience later at night. People are home from work. They're going to watch us.
Well, on the West Coast, but on our East Coast people, and like, Eddie's got to go to bed. Right, Eddie?
I don't think so. I think he's like me. I think he's a hoot owl. I think he has trouble getting there on that 10 a.m.
I would like to know. Hey, and if you're watching this on replay, let us know in the comments. Times and whatnot. Also, I have a large quantity of cards that say Saturday at 3:30. I swear to God. This is why I was like, when do we get these printed? See? So there's that.
Oh, there is that.
Now we can put little stickers on them. Stickers are a solution.
Stickers.
Well, so I'm not so married to it that, things cannot be altered. But, the information's been out there. But it's all right.
Are you going to say hello to people?
We don't do that over here. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Give those thumbsy upsies. Like it. Love it. Watch some more of it. We use that over on PM.
I really like for you to say hello to people. I think it's important.
Do y'all
Unless they get, is there a, I'm not even there. Oh, my God.
See,
Sorry.
He is not a night owl. I knew that about Eddie because I know Eddie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got the sound off.
Good.
So we've got, see, I can't do that because I don't have access to those. I just see the people up there. There's 11 people that have given us a thumbs up. That's excellent.
Well, actually, we have 13 and we have 16 people here, so.
There's some of you are lollygagging. Get over there.
Yeah.
Do that thumbsy upsies. You know all the reasons why.
Hello, Martha. All right, do y'all want me to say? I will give hellos if y'all want hellos over here. Yeah.
They do. They like them. People said it makes them feel seen.
Well, I know, but that's over on the Artie channel, and this seems to be...
Well, we're kind of a little bit Artie here.
I know, we are.
I might Artie up today.
See,
Did I show my...
Now, Jamie said that she is a night owl, so... I'm waiting for people to say yes. I would, give the, give a hand. We like a hello. Okay.
Pinky. Yeah, Pinky.
See, Jennifer says I don't need a hello.
Well, then let's just get to it.
Yeah.
Observations on the attributes of conspiracy theories. Now, Mariah and I, we laugh about this a lot here. because she'll say, what have you been watching?
Yeah. And people were worried about you and what you were watching. So it's not just me. It's all of us.
I can entertain a thought without accepting it.
I know. That's what
Aristotle.
That's what all cult members said prior to being a part of the
I know.
cult.
I do think about that. But I don't think that, I think that takes more of a hands-on approach. And usually it takes more than,
Cult is different than conspiracy, but see, I feel like conspiracy is the gateway to culting.
I don't necessarily know about that. I just know that you can't be afraid to watch something that makes you ever so slightly uncomfortable.
Oh, well, that's true. I will tell you, actually. So Mike Nellis was doing a video, and there's a bunch of different creators that cover that Tim Dillon dude, the comedian, and he says some things that are very inappropriate. And some of it is like, I do get why it's funny, and this is the struggle, and I understand. And this is part of the problem. They're like, oh, you're too woke, or you're we used to say politically correct. I don't want to happen to that one. I like that because, don't PC me or whatever. But, just, and I'm officially
I've never been accused of being politically correct.
No.
For the most part.
Which is also very funny because nothing is ever meant in a mean way. Sometimes some things are just funny. And sometimes it is at the expense of others. I don't always care for that. Sometimes it is funny. I am also okay with people laughing at me. Sometimes, not always. Like, you need to check in. And you have to know the part. Like, that requires some proximity to the person in the situation.
Well,
you can't just blatantly just be that way. Then you're just a dick.
And you're just being, yeah.
I think. I don't know. I'm putting this on and it's going to be a bit much.
An appendage.
This is the... Look at that. I don't like this.
Okay.
It's gothy. It's so gothy. But I needed some. So you knew I had lips.
Well, your mouth works. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do they... Here are the questions that I have. Because I think... Mariah says that the whole thing with, watching people who are operating on the premise of a theory, not a proven hypothesis, but a theory, that those people, are going to drag you in and, make you do things that you wouldn't want to do. How do they start? Where are they most likely to emanate from? What needs commonalities to be recognized to make them come alive? When, what conditions, time-wise, are they most successful? And this is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Who benefits and how do they benefit? And the thing about it is, I was watching these two people, and I don't even want to tell you who they are because I'm going to talk about them here, and I don't think that I should identify them as such. But they were having a conversation, and anyway, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I have not consulted any sources as I write this intro because I wanted to see if an average Jane, as opposed to an average Joe, myself, could hypothesize some valid observations on the subject. At 75 years of age, I've been exposed to a plethora, I love using that word, such a paucity of occasions these days to use it. I'd really like to go more on paucity, but I will not for another day. Back to it. The question posited from above are a way of employing the steps of scientific inquiry, applying the tenets to a most wiggly social phenomenon that has been much of late, galvanizing all sorts of politicians, pundits, people of all bents and beliefs to put forth their own version of a conspiracy theory.
Okay, so, but this is
just my opinion.
Okay.
I am not citing any professionals or anything.
Okay.
It's just my opinion. What you hear here is mine alone.
Okay.
Okay? If you quote me, make sure that you put my name next to it.
She would like to be attributed.
Yes. Today, the focus will be more on analysis and identifying those key factors present in any conspiracy theory. Left for you, the audience, as application to specifics, allowing everyone a conspiratorial theory checklist. And I think some of these you will recognize right away. All conspiracy theories have one common ground, one variable that attaches itself to almost all of the original premises. Guess what that is?
I don't know.
Money and power.
Oh.
Just think about it. It'll
Okay.
You'll be able to see it here. Keep in mind, a theory remains such until enough facts, replications, evidence can confirm the original premise as verifiable. Now, why now? What precipitated this rant that we're having today here? Talking to you.
Observation.
During an intense arting session, that's when I was working on my book, I was listening to two podcasters discuss the shooting event at the hotel where allegedly the president was the target. Okay, now I have a side note there.
Does it pull out or have a little flippy top or?
I have to find my
notation. Yeah.
Oh, here. All right. Mr. Host Person's premise, I shall refer them to as Mr. Host Person and Mr. Guest Person,
okay,
was that the present administration was too stupid to pull off an operation of this magnitude, nature, and someone would have spilled the beans. A lot of loose lips lying about the White House by now. And with everything that is going on immediately in front of us, conspiracy theories take the focus away from what is and people doing something about what is. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, where was I here? Okay. The host person was all up in arms at another female podcaster, very likely with more subscriptions than he, word beating her about the head and shoulders for verbalizing her conspiracy theory about what really happened, and could it have been a propagandistic maneuver to intentionally garner sympathy for the target.
Okay, do I get to interject and whatnot?
You get to interject. That's why I'm pausing.
Fantastic. Okay. 100% agree. In prior administrations that here's a kind of two-parter. Certainly wouldn't put it past them. Totally agree with the fact that these folks just aren't smart enough to coordinate such things. But we already know, here's where I go, all right, there's some factual stuff to these sorts of things, these conspiracies. Evidence. The whole thing is that, and we know, even during like the 9/11 times, and this may have come up during this podcast, I may have even seen this podcast, I'm not sure, feel like I did, but we haven't had this conversation, by the way. This is how we normally do it, and I was like, could we just, I don't want to know what you have written. Because this is the stuff that I usually do with her, but I can't do it later. I can't do it again because I've already done it. It's hard for me. So this is off the cuff. This is how it goes. Because I think this is better. So, during the 9/11 thing, or after 9/11, I think the CIA, or it was either during or after, but they would find, or, during investigations, there were radicalized, or they would either they would be part of the radicalization, or they would let the radicalization happen and then not really necessarily do anything or further push them to do things. And we know that stuff has happens on all sides of the board. Yes. As Beau of the Fifth used to say, this is a poker game. Everyone's cheating. Let's just figure out, all of that. And I do agree with that. So what I think is that now, again, we have to think about, all these folks that are in charge. Did they know this guy was already up to something and just let it sort of play out?
That's one possibility.
That would be my thing of, okay, they knew that they could work it to their advantage. It was already going to happen.
True. So, but I'm kind of going with, maybe not. And the whole thing about, well, we would have heard about it. There's so much that you have not heard about that has happened 50 years, the past 50 years. Significant stuff that involved a lot of people we wouldn't normally think would be involved.
Yeah.
So that can't be your reason for excluding something as a possibility.
So y'all just put on your tinfoil hats, because here we go.
The host went on. I'm not.
I know.
There. I don't want him. I don't want them to, shoot me down in the street or fix the brakes on the car. The host went on about it at length, ending with the question for his guest. And all the verbals, language used in fomenting the question seemed very emotionally weighted, anticipating the response from his guest. And basically, I think he really wanted the guest to agree with him, although he repeatedly said he wanted his true feelings about it. I don't think he really did. The guest said that, and I could tell, he was pausing there. He knew that this wasn't going to be. The guest said that, yes, it could be true that the whole scenario was planned in advance and executed to give the target an opportunity to visually remind the audience how very much the ballroom was needed in order to better securify the premises.
See that part.
Avoiding any pesky shooter incidents in the future. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, he actually, no, and after it happened, he actually said that. The target actually said that.
Well, and then their little system, I'm trying to stick with your, we're not naming names and things.
Yeah.
But the little system that they have in place seemed to be activated, and they were all saying the same thing, which also feels,
a little bit.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Little quick on the jump, all very synchronized. That leads to people going, that doesn't feel quite right.
Consensus.
Yes.
Consensus is always suspicious. Mr. Host Person was not happy with the guest's response. So much for anticipated bias confirmation. And proceeded to explain most vociferously his deep disappointment. Mr. Guest Person mentioned the fact that many of the conspiracy theories of the not-so-distant past were indeed factual enough to motivate a further perusal.
Yeah.
Those are my words, not Mr. Host Person. I'm telling you, all of this is just
observation.
Observation. Attributes. Mr. Host Person was having none of that. Mr. Guest Person, in an effort to mollify the acrimoniousness of Mr. Host Person's diatribe, repeated his earlier answer, adding to it, some of the ideas I have are not appropriate for airing on a talk show, but rather in a conversation between the two of us later.
Ooh, maybe I haven't seen this. Oh my gosh. I love this telling of all this, though.
And that was my, I paraphrased that whole thing.
Yeah, but I love it.
The statement is what got my attention and lingered long enough. I woke up at night, got up and wrote some of this down. And come up with questions posited at the beginning. And here they are. We're going to answer some of those questions here. Just, in general, no specifics. I'm allowing you to plug in your specifics here.
Hey, and if y'all want to do that during, get active in the chat. I know y'all are listening because that was very interesting. I was very intrigued with it as well. But, just to keep us active and whatnot, if you would just, type little things in the chat every once in a while, that'd be super duper thumbsy upsies or just, oh my gosh, faces or whatever.
Yeah. And if you have questions, I shall endeavor to answer them.
Oh, yes.
And number one, here is the hesitancy of Mr. Guest Person in revealing what he thought was a possible explanation for how the shooting incident could have been orchestrated as successfully as it was. Disclaimer: any of the following are speculations, questions, theories which have only identified possibilities of what could have occurred. I have to say that more than once because I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Plausible, perhaps. Definitive, no. Imagination, creative ideas, and the coin of the realm in formulating viable plots for spy novels. So let's just say that is what we're doing here. That was my wink wink.
Or the baby used to go.
She did. Back to the question number 1. How do they start? Okay. And I have this surrounded with a red box.
Red box. This is red box.
People notice things.
Some do.
Some do. Some don't. Repeated actions. Samenesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that is. It has. I know that's not a word, but I've been watched.
It's okay.
Daniel Parenti the other day. He said a word. He says, "Is that a word?"
Daniel Parenti or Michael?
Michael. Sorry,
Okay.
Michael Parenti. And he said, "Is that really a word?" I wish I could remember what it was, but anyway, somebody in the audience said, "It is now."
That's right. Hey, Son Michaud says that all the time. That's how words get made.
Bullet point number 1. Contrived denials that reverberate with animated gusto.
Ooh.
Methinks thou dost protest too much.
Mm-hmm.
Shakespeare. Bullet point 2. Where have I seen that same person before?
Oh, there's a lot of that, by the way.
That part of the brain that recognizes patterns is what kept us alive on the plains of Africa. Ignoring them resulted in being the dinner rather than the diner.
Yeah, those didn't survive. That didn't stick around.
So, we are wired to pay attention to the little finger pokes before they become a full-on push with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, dinner or diner. Be curious. Contemplating leads us to the next question. Journalists, writers do this all the time, and many times the question can identify the subject of the article, book, etc., etc. So the question of where the original action happened can be crucial in pinpointing and collecting more relevant information that supports the original theory. Was the location isolated? Was it public? Who was there to observe, report, recount? This is then considered as part of a possible pattern if the occurrence occurred more than once.
It has at least 3-ish. Just saying.
Who? Remember, that was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The who can be the target, but also who can be the observers, the culprit, the perpetrators, the behind-the-scenes people, the planners. When asked who, it is important to include any and all, or as many as possible, because this information can help identify a motive. When is time sensitive? I just couldn't help writing that because I've heard people say it's like, let me be perfectly clear.
Oh,
or
they
what's
say
the
that
other
a lot.
one that they say all the time that makes me just want to retch? Anyway,
We probably have some too.
I
So don't,
probably have, but when is time sensitive? In that an action is dependent on factors that need to happen for or in order for something else to happen. This action or event precipitates another that may or may not be related to the original one. Looking at an action event and questioning the timing can be instrumental in discovering others.
Mm-hmm.
Later, the question may be addressed again when relevance is established. And relevance is always related to
Relevance is relevant.
when. Yes, it
There you go.
is. This brings us to the most consequential of all the questions. Who benefits
I love this.
from the action events as described in the conspiracy theory? The old adage every successful investigator writer begins with is follow the money, because the percentages for discovering verifiable facts will lie in that pursuit. There's also a direct correlate that the more money involved, the more moneyed individuals, the more obscure, difficult it is to find it. The layers of the onions of wealth is protected, advanced by powerful entities, institutions, governments that benefit from and ultimately become duplicitous in furthering the aims of the who's.
Yeah, and profit doesn't always equal money. Profit could be power.
Well,
We just
I
usually
just-
associate you must have a certain amount of wealth
Yes.
to acquire power.
And I don't. I just put them together. I think they're the same thing.
And this is why dark money is poisoning our democracy.
Saith Mariah on the side of her cup.
I wanted to cover up my things, but I didn't want to lose my sticky notes. But the dark money is perpetuating so much of this, and then we're all standing around going, is this a conspiracy?
Is this yeah. Could this really be happening? Could they have figured all this out? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but then you're like, I think some of it's true. And I think that a good conspiracy theory, as you said,
I think it's a great place to start.
it's always a good place to start. Now let's figure out how to peel back the onion.
Layer by layer.
And also not get wrapped up in the... Because, there's some things that she has discussed with me. And I'm like, listen, lady.
I know, but some of the things that I've discussed with you.
I'm like, I understood. What was crazy is I knew where she was getting some of the information. I said, all right, here's how I think that correlates, matches up to these other things. And really what was probably happening. And then projection, because usually you have to go, oh, now that makes sense. But here's the other deal. All right, it's much like solving... Oh, she loves it when I get mathy, so here we go. Much like when you're solving a problem. This is, like in algebra, right? This is what I remember. If you don't have certain information, or a word problem, if you don't have certain information, you can't fill in...
Yeah, the variables.
Right, the actual,
Wasn't that what they're
we're
called?
not solving, yes. We're, all right, yes, the variables. So we need certain bits of information. Now we have a lot more information. We're starting to get even more. They really don't want us to have all the information, because then I think it's going to be like, oh,
Yes.
whoa.
And that's another thing. And I kind of want to talk about that today, because since I wrote this, I came across this other stuff. The benefit is obvious. More money equals more powers, more control over everything. And when I have everything capitalized, I truly mean
Everything.
global.
Everything.
But
Which is also crazy to us. We sit here and we go, can that be right? Can that be right?
and has been for some time, I think. But there is the reigning ecological fact that once the apex predator has consumed all the prey, the only logical action to stay alive is to eat the other predators. They do that all the time.
I think we see a lot of that happening now.
Hope springs eternal, and for the creative, visual delights can be delicious. Okay,
So pop the popcorn.
yeah, okay. now that's my written down rant. And then I said, okay, here's some, these are just things I want you just to think about. And you can find information on these. This isn't anything, all woo-woo, and yeah, you can write it in that thing on Google and it'll tell you some
It's
stuff.
probably an AI summary for it. Who knows about that? But,
Well, who
don't
knows
come
about
at me
that?
about that either. Good
Look
God.
at the resources and make sure that there
people.
are lots of different ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you should make up your own list. What are some of the non-conspiratorial items of interest that can be readily verified in libraries, documents, etc., etc., etc.? That thing sitting there.
And I think on that, a very most interesting, and I feel like somebody had talked about this. This is not my brilliant light bulb moment. So, just letting y'all know, I just can't remember exactly where I heard it or whatever. Pull up some things prior to internet. And if you have books around that.
A library close by.
But that's why, prior to the internet business of things. Or maybe early internet, where it wasn't all about the searching of, all these different documents that can show up online and can be altered and this, that, the other.
Yes.
That's why books are a great, if they were written prior.
This is why I'm buying books, because I think we're going to get to the point where we probably won't be able to get them anymore.
Well, or if it all crashes out and at least we got something. I don't know.
Okay.
Knowledge is power, y'all.
My big thing is wars. Okay? Because we as citizens are encouraged to wrap that patriotic flag around the concept, singing God Bless America as we march over cliff to war. Because that's what we are told to do, to believe. Democracy is in danger from the communists, from terrorists, from drug lords, threats to our way of life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were told. Always, that's what we're told. Think about Iran-Contra. I can remember when that happened, and I swear to God, me and Bernie were the only people that were screaming, "We need more evidence." And you realize the reason they didn't want to explore any more of that, Osama bin Laden is a son of the Saudi, the king of Saudi Arabia.
Hey, again, cannot talk up that Johnny Harris, he went through it and they have the maps and the timeline and
yes,
it's very well done.
Yes, so I'm definitely not making that up. But we needed to go into Iran. We needed to go into Iraq. Sorry, or one of those I words. It's like Iowa and Ohio. I get those mixed up.
I always thought that too, Sophia. I don't do it.
What?
I just want you to know. Sophia says, just to let you know, the rest of the world views the whole holding your hand on your heart and standing up for the flag thing that is required in schools to be deeply weird. I think so. I just stand there.
I do too.
Sometimes I sit down.
And it's just, it's like prayers in church. I just stand there. I'm not being disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I just stand there. Best I can do. But we went to war because we needed to get the economy going again. We needed to have the war machine come alive so we could produce more bombs and yada, 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 take over people's.
Well, it's just a justification for
resources.
It's a justification
always
for then people in power to make more money to then distribute and usually pull wealth from others.
Yeah, because look at Iraq right now. It's in total shambles.
Yeah,
it's horrible there. Every place that we've been, look at the Latin American countries that we have just totally decimated.
Right, and then we're all mad because they're like, "Oh, why are they coming here?"
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we had something to do with it. Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. How did wars start? Somewhere an agent, usually the CIA or someone, of financial interest observes that a leader is becoming too popular, too independent.
Oh, yeah.
Is using the natural resources of his country to actually benefit the people that live there. Schools, hospitals, housing, wages. They can't have that happening, because if that is happening, there isn't any reason for our intervention.
Mm-hmm.
intervention.
Yes.
So we can save them.
Oh, and we really love to do some pre-intervention.
Oh, absolutely. The pre-intervention is what, sows the seeds for the crop.
We're doing a bit of that right now, which is ridiculous, and I just don't understand. And it's so weird because, all these red lines that you thought some folks had.
Yeah.
Then you're just like, oh.
That little line in the sand. Oh, can't go past that one. Oh, no. Can't go past that one. Just keep moving it up. Pretty soon we're going to be in the middle of the ocean with our little sand drawing sticks in the sand business. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's really all I have today, except I would advise you to go and listen to...
Hey, you found your postcards, so you need to show the postcards.
Oh.
Can you find them again? I swear.
One moment.
If we go 2 weeks on this, I'm going to be like, good gosh.
We might need to make some more postcards today.
We should. I need to come up with, I wanted to do some new stamps over, especially, for June for Pride. And, since this is our 250th, just doesn't, I don't know. This doesn't.
Hey.
I'm like, does it count? I feel like we should put a pause in it. Because I really don't think that we're really doing 250 years of, I don't know. Oh, she said she found them and then, they were in the book. Did you keep them in the book? You should have kept them in the book.
Well, I thought, but I'm...
See, I even remember. Mm-hmm.
What books were they in? Oh, gosh.
Or here, you can give me the book. But, so Sophie wants to know, P&M, do you know Tom Lehrer? He was a math professor at Harvard, but wrote and performed comedy songs at the piano in the 1960s. I feel like you've actually shown me this guy before. If you don't know his stuff, look it up. Send to the Marines. It was known in the U.S. how the U.S. behaved internationally, even back then. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, y'all, I don't know. Let's just make some new ones and pretend like, Well, they were.
Seriously, lady?
I don't know.
I tell you what. Look, is it in that one behind you?
No. That's my,
It's not in that book?
Nope.
Promise?
I promise.
Just not even gonna look to just
That's the book
humor
that
me.
I get my quotes from.
Oh, okay. We had this discussion about you should just leave it wherever you found it.
I think I did, but I don't know. I just looked in those books over there and it's not in there. Not on there anymore. It's just not there. Not there. Okay, well, I think we should come up with some clever little things to write on them. Because I don't know who we're going to send these to. My whole feeling about the postcards, I think it mostly is just to make me happy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that it's changing lives.
I don't know if it's changing lives, and it makes me. It's like Mariah says, I'm gonna beat you till I'm happy. It's not necessarily for you. It's for me that I'm doing this, and it gives me a lot of joy to come up with different little things to say. But I thought I had a piece of paper here. That was.
I tell you what, lady. I don't know. It's now just going to become a running joke about
the postcards. Oh, I may have put them over here.
I checked all the books that I thought she'd put them in. That would make sense.
Well, there's all of our... And there's this.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think from now on, you must put them in there.
Those
That
are
does say cards. It's written
old.
on the. It says cards.
Yeah, but that's the old ones.
Ooh, thank you. Are these your sparkly pens? Yeah. Okay.
You know, I think the other thing that somebody was talking about is making little stickers and just sticking them about.
Oh, hey, we're part of these groups. I tapped out some of them because that one judgy woman, she upset me. The one about the AI thing.
Oh,
I ranted about that last week, but I didn't fully tap out. I just, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to interact in this group any longer. But the more local one, some people have been posting the stickers of I did that, or I did this, with the next to the gas prices. I guess people did that during Biden, but I never saw any of those. And again, the reality versus, it's very mind-boggling to me. I think the biggest problem is that it's like, there were things happening that created that situation, and if you were aware enough, you understood those situations. But I guess if you were constantly fed misinformation, then you go off of that. And that's irritating, because I'm kind of like, there's some basic stuff that's out there. Like, please get off Fox News, please, for the love of God, just get off of Fox News or the other ones.
Well, as soon as I get my new book, I would advise you go and find. And the problem with
like,
Michael,
just stats, just
Michael Parenti.
They're boring, but just go look up data, like statistics and things.
Well, I don't want to do that.
I don't either, but I feel like
I just want to hear it from different people. And my latest one is Michael.
Why do you want to call him
I don't
Daniel?
know why I want to call everybody Daniel today. Michael Parenti, Parenti. He's dead.
But his son's alive.
He
also does things.
He was still... the problem is most of the things that you will find online are really crappy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't watch the video. It's horrible, usually. Just listen.
Yeah.
Just listen. Because they're old. And whatever. And a lot of them are very... they were,
mm-hmm.
Like somebody with a iPhone, except they didn't have them back then, but I don't know what they were using, but it wasn't nearly as good as the phone. Horrible. But you still get the idea of what's going on, and he's sort of funny. You would most people would term him.
Oh, don't say that. Just let him.
I just go over and see. Whatever.
Don't label people before because that might.
Prior to, and you shouldn't, because you should figure
mm-hmm.
that out for yourself. But also,
or what your comfort level is with that.
Don't immediately just discount everything that he says because someone else has.
This also sounds a little conspiracy theory, and I do apologize for that, but it seems right. At least, hey, we're not bait and switchy on our clickbaity on our titling.
We're still on conspiracy theories and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is,
although I think this falls under, I guess it's all propaganda. I mean, propaganda is just the information and how it's coming at you. There's going to be a spin on it, right?
Yes. Propaganda exists because there can be elements of truth in it. But the main thing propaganda does is it depends on your confirmation bias to be successful.
To be propagandized.
Because, if you're not wanting to believe something, this is why I say question everything. Be skeptical. If somebody tells you something and they can't
Yeah, so it does have a bias to it.
Yes,
and
of course it does.
Yeah, so you got to know. Okay, here's a perfect example. Like, there for a while, I really liked Midas Touch. And I still think that they do some great work. Even though they hit all my little bias feels and things, and it's it's all the things. I'm like, okay, this is too much. I don't need it. It's too, it's like having the cake and there's too much frosting. I don't need that much frosting. I love the cake. I might like a little frosting. But you're like doing it too hard.
I know, and especially I think what happens is they get into this little.
Well, they feel like I think they have to overswing on this other stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know that that's winning people over necessarily, but maybe that isn't what they're there for. And I mean, it seems like Fox doesn't give a crap.
Well, they mentioned a long time ago that they were entertainment. We should have listened to them.
But they also say they're fair and balanced, and that's not fair or balanced.
No.
And if you don't know that,
like, just no.
It's like what I feel like is that the folks that are watching that don't understand that their cake is way too sweet as well. They may need to lay off.
Lay off the frosting.
Lay off the frosting.
Back off the frosting.
Hey, this is a great, and I think
Yeah. I think it is too.
All right.
I had a great one the other day. I can't remember what it is right now.
Okay, see, Patty felt that way too. See, and there are certain shows and things that they still do, and I think some of their reporting and their people doing the work is good.
Yes.
They have some good information. It's just, again, the propaganda that they feed out a little too much.
Yeah. But I think it's so important. For a while there, that was the only thing that I could get that was like
giving
you stuff that you felt like, I want to know some of this stuff. How do I find out about it? Those people were there. It's kind of like the Bulwark. I'm almost to the point where the stuff that they talk about, stuff I already know. I want the Michael Parentis. I want the Thom Hartmanns. I want the hard.
Actually, I'm so excited. Okay, good lead in on a thing. Okay. Down below in the description, Eric. I don't know how he says his last name. I've only heard him say it a couple of times. It's like, because it's obviously like Czech or something like that. So it has like a CZU. I can't remember exactly how it's all spelled, but I don't know how he says it. It's something like Chung or something like that. Link down below. His channel. Love him. He's on the ground reporting. He's also hooking up with some of these other media, which is also a little like, this is where your like feels have to go, okay, who are these companies? It's kind of also in the same vein as the Johnny Harris's. I love that Max Fisher is hooked in with Johnny Harris. I feel like this is in the same vein of information where they actually are some of the on-the-ground reporters. Like, they go to the place and talk to the people. They see the things that are happening. But one of the things is that for a lot of these folks that are going into places like Lebanon, because this is one of the things, they want to go into Lebanon, but they need security details, and they have to kind of coordinate all of these different aspects just to be there and then get the information and be able to then provide the different videos and all of the, to get it out to you. I like his very quick videos. He has a longer podcast thing. It makes me a little sad because it's just voice. I like to see people's faces because when you're telling me something, I get that visually. I can't always hear truthiness and things. I need to see your face. That's why it's very important for us. Like, we have always, even over on the art channel, on the PMR Studio, we show our faces. Because I want you to know how I'm feeling. I want you to see the,
emotional intensity. or
important.
lack thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
That. Oh, I know. Yeah, and like Jack Cocciarella, I really like him in some of the information he gives, but his titles, and I've noticed Adam Mockler even sort of doing some of this.
Oh, I know. It's just, I think that they feel like they have to do that in order to keep their audience and keep people engaged, or to get new people or whatever. And what it does is it really sort of drives away the people that came there in the first place, because you were really providing something that, God, I'm glad I changed my water out.
Part of it is, here, and I'll go topside while you're doing that. I think part of that, you know, how many times can you say?
Well, here's the thing.
You know, how do you title the thing? Today's shit show? I don't know. Like,
here's my thing. I just feel like I'm getting leftovers, warmed up leftovers, because I think they're out there. Everybody is saying the same thing. They're all reporting this on this one thing that, this is the latest thing. I need more serious content at this point in my
in your media diet. In
my media diet. I'm past, the 5-minute whatever. I want someone to go in depth. I want them to tell me.
What are we doing?
Facts.
I don't know what part we play in this.
I'm telling you.
We're having conversation about how to.
I'm telling you where to go to get this information, or who to go to get some of this information. I feel like this is a valuable service. I don't know. I don't know that they're, Thom Hartmann does some of this. I love Thom Hartmann.
Yeah.
And I love Heather Cox Richardson. I don't like her friend Joanne. Friend Joanne is annoying. I know that it's her friend, but I don't like her. She just, I don't. I know that sounds terrible, but she isn't somebody that I could hang out with for long periods of time. And I really, I try to understand why Heather is, engaged with this. Yeah. Okay, we're just going to use this brush because this is the only one I have.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do here is I'm just going to draw some little spots out here. These are going to be, and if it's bigger than that, it can't go there, okay? You got to make the words different.
Well, okay. Here's another example of that sort of situation. And y'all know I love Angela Park-Rose permaculture. And I do love how she brings, I like her perspective. Yeah. It's usually hers is a lot of social justice versus just news stuff, which I like, because it's, hey, this thing is happening. Here's some things that we can do. That's why I had the link down below for Eric's stuff for his channel. And then,
do you have Michael Parenti down there?
No, I do not, but I will come back and do that. Sorry.
Okay, I
didn't know he was tied into the conspiracy theory.
Well, I didn't really know either. So I'm just, I've talked about him, and I've sent you stuff that you were supposed to read.
I haven't gotten into and loved upon Michael Parenti as much as P would like me to. I'm going to rectify that.
I watched Johnny Harris for 3.5 hours.
I know, I'm very proud of you, but it was good. It was well put together.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's just get some ideas going here. Now, these are going to be stickers we're going to be making. We're going to put, the people that used to, sneak around at night and get their wallpaper paste and put things on the wall.
Yeah, I love that. And there are people that still do those sorts of things. But we could get a button maker because the baby would like one as well.
Oh.
A button maker. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pen.
They're buttons. They're called buttons. Button maker.
Okay, button maker. Okay. So.
I don't know that, once again, I just also would like everybody to notice that this is how P operates with all things that should have a standard size. She says, I do not accept that. I will make my own circles and we will make this work, which I can do.
Well,
I can. And you know what I'll do? Because you just work within the circle that you have put there. I love that. And then I with the skill set that I have as a graphic designer, will make this happen.
I need some ideas from my very involved.
We need some buttons, y'all. What's these buttons?
Some...
Dark money is poisoning our democracy.
Okay, where's my dead black pen? I have to use my black pen. See my little cozy that I put on my
Is it
my
so this is the garlic thing.
Tomato paste.
And I want you to know that my husband saved this for her.
I know. Ain't it pretty?
It is very nice. It's blue and it's a small weave. I mean, you know, if you were a connoisseur
of said, yeah. Okay, now what was that? Dark?
Dark money is poisoning our democracy.
I'm going to say dark.
Here, you want my sticky note? Look,
money
I already
poisons them.
There you go. Yeah, shorten it up.
See.
And here,
that's going to be a good one.
Here's my other one. There's some things for you. Oh, you want me to go down and get my other things?
We need politicians who think big. Okay, now let me just tell you what I find the problematic with that. You've got to tell them how to think and what to think. There's a lot of them that are thinking really big. It just doesn't necessarily involve me and what is good for me.
Size matters.
It does.
You should put that on one. With government, money, power, conspiracies, appendages, lack thereof, thoughts.
Yeah.
See,
okay.
Ballrooms.
Yes, all of those. Okay.
Oh, see, that's so sweet. So lots of folks are saying, see, they feel like they're chatting. Okay, me too.
Okay.
I feel like I'm chatting with a neighbor when I watch Angela. That's right. It feels like a conversation. That's been one of the things that P and I hope that like we bring here. And then why it was important when she was reading the conspiracy stuff, the observations and things, I wanted y'all to experience how we have like
conversations all the time. Yeah.
And sometimes I don't like it whenever we've already had all the good convo and I'm like trying to remember the things we said, but it doesn't feel natural that way. And that isn't right.
This is very true. I want to say something about, just help me out here.
Okay.
Socially responsible government. I mean, it has to fit inside the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've got dark money will fit inside the money in the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I will write it so that you will see that it does.
Okay, Martha, and here's the thing. So this is a lot like when P was reading the White Women book and she's like, well, that's not me. And I said, well, then why are you telling me that? Like, don't. And Angela was the one who sort of turned me on to this. And in fact, actually, Angela and son Michaud, because I think he has also like had these little conversations regarding, but I wasn't talking to you. Why are you upset?
If it doesn't apply to you, don't wear the coat.
Yeah.
If you're not cold, don't wear the coat.
You might have checked one of the boxes because when she's like, hey, boomers. But just because you checked that box doesn't mean that everything after that applied to you. And that's the way that I think a lot of us, but then you're already in a defensive mode, which is very much like reactionary. And we do that. I do it. I'm still upset about the girl with the AI thing.
Okay.
She wasn't wrong.
I'm just going to put my 2 cents worth in here.
Yeah.
Because I call it the shotgun approach. It's ineffective.
Yeah.
You must identify who you are speaking to before you start your speaking.
Yeah.
Because if you do not select your audience, then your notifications are going to fall upon deaf ears. They won't know that you're talking to them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, wait, say that again.
You must identify your audience, who you are speaking to, because your message will be presented in a way that you are reaching that contingent of the population. I think they did a very poor job of that in the book, and I will continue saying that.
Right.
Once you get into it, you understand that, but immediately, and I mean, why would you want to do that if you want people to purchase or to become involved and actually embrace your ideas if you are alienating them from the very get-go?
Yeah. Oh, and I think this is a great conversation. So thank you, Martha. I really appreciate this. Like, you have no idea. And something that we think about and have actually had conversations about before. So she says labels are harmful. Yes and no, but in a lot of ways we need to understand and not necessarily, because you have a label doesn't mean that automatically cuts you off from perhaps having other labels. Or that
should be, I think a label, when it is most beneficial, is when it's inclusive rather than exclusive.
Right. And I think whenever I think we as a society have been trained in a lot of ways, because when you say don't label me, you automatically assume when somebody's then calling out something that
it's negative.
And maybe it isn't.
Okay, here, let me throw out a label. Communist. What do you think about when you hear that word? Because we're all very triggered. I'm triggered. When you say that, I am like,
oh. And just like Martha says, she says it cuts me off because I quit listening. Yeah, so you got it. So exactly. I think my call to action to you, Martha, would be take your moment. You deserve it. You should have that. But then go, ooh.
Why do I feel that way?
Why do I feel that way? Maybe I should listen a little further. And say then, okay, well, not that I cared for the way the approach, the call out, the label, but then let's go with the information after that and figure out, okay, well, yeah, okay, yes, I am a boomer, or I am not a boomer. I am a Gen Xer. Nobody ever talks to us. Feel very left out. And that's also been a thing on the internet.
Everybody listens to boomers.
Well, because y'all are around. There's lots of you,
and we've been around for a long time.
And y'all are, retired, and you're online,
and we have a lot of time,
and you're doing things, and you're saying things, and you're showing up places, and that's fantastic.
Yes. We've lived, and that in and of itself doesn't give you a special. What do I want to say?
Yeah, Martha, I think, there is, but I would think, and this is a very Gen Xer kind of, we're like, okay, yeah, so what? Because we're feral, because our boomer parents just let us stay outside and drink out of the hose.
Just when you could drink out of the hose.
Yeah, so I think the thing is, exactly. Yes. And I think that, those are some of the things where you go, okay, well, why? Where's the bashing? But does that apply to you? If that's not you, then I think the part would be, oh, well, that's not me. But maybe part of that conversation would be like, hey, I really appreciate you saying these things. Because obviously it does apply to some. And then if you know some of those folks, you now have the information and you are provided the tools of conversation. Like I was with P.
Because
to help her bring her, I'm like, hey, give this a little chance here. I know that hurt, but it shouldn't. And here's why. And then you go, okay, that's a better approach. And then you say, I wish that person would have said that.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think it, number one, it would have increased the sales of her book. And whatever.
Right.
Whatever. But back to this labeling thing, because I want to get this in.
Yeah.
In here.
As we're trying to create some labels and buttons to put on things.
Absolutely. And I think that there's a certain amount of
yes. Yes, Zal. Exactly.
that I'm kind of chuckling about it because they need to be general enough that they're inclusive, but they need to be specific enough to be meaningful. That's kind of a hard thing to, so we're getting it down. We're taking a big idea. We're sucking it down the tube so that when we poop it out on the paper here, it fits in the space. That's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
No, and this is also why putting labels and creating small, bits of, hey.
Yes.
Hopefully you should start a conversation rather than stopping it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to write that down. Start conversations. Now, what else did you say? Start conversations.
Well, yeah, so labels, you've got to condense down the information to create the label in hopes that does not, see, this is where, like, I don't know, rewind. Can somebody rewind and put it in the chat? Because if I do that over here, it could screw up things, and I'm always nervous about that. Okay,
while that's happening, can I just talk about labels from a educational point of view?
Yeah,
because I think it's a very
it can be very detrimental.
It can be horrible. It can be horrible. Somebody used to say, have you been to the office to look over the student records of the new kids that are coming in? And I said, why would I want to do something like that? They said, well, so you'll know what their problems are and how, whatnot. I said, I can usually figure that out. And sometimes
they ain't bringing that to me.
They don't. I don't see that as a problem. I see it as
a challenge.
Well, no, or something that I would encourage. I got along with the kids that were the
problems,
the poop heads that nobody else liked, because they were, and usually those are the really, really smart kids too. By the way, that of course some of them aren't any smarter than they think they are.
Yeah,
but I love that they had enough wherewithal and confidence in themselves to say,
Oh, Eddie, that's very good. He said, my response would have been, I'm looking at the problem. Because, yes. Very good, Eddie.
That'll fit inside there.
Oh, I love it with the eyelash eyeballs. Maybe it should be more of a question. Am I looking at the problem? Because that says to me, that's more off-putting. Because if you're reading it, then that says, ooh, I don't want to engage in conversation.
Well, I put a question mark on the end.
Okay. So it should say, am I? But Eddie also appreciated the opportunity for googly eyes.
There, I fixed it. Am I looking at the problem?
Yes. We're coming up with, we're going to make some buttons.
Yes, we are. I'm going to work on, I've got my little cards here, but,
what are you doing? Cutting out?
Well, I'm cutting out circles.
Hey, do we still have the big punch? Don't we have
No, I think that we sent that away. It wasn't working. I'm just going to use some color here and kind of get some color on here so that I get some ideas about, you know.
Keep having this conversation regarding the punch. I got a little one. That's for the toppers of the.
We'll just do some really fun backgrounds here.
Okay.
And everybody can, you know, just keep writing them down, and Mariah will tell them. I will write them down over here.
Oh, Dawn said, okay, when did his lies become our reality?
What is it?
When did his lies become our reality?
Oh, I love that.
I've been wearing my buttons out, like just, and I wear it when we go to the one hamburger place, and they've always got like the one news station, the News Nation, which I don't know about that.
I think it'll fit on there. I think I can condense it down. Okay, we're gonna just have warm colors here, and you know I can give you a little. I have to be really careful because that really dark.
Jamie,
purple.
we talked about that today. Like I've been like Game of Thrones kind of consequences, I believe, should happen.
What?
If you know, you know. That's my feeling about certain things. Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was in school at Tech, we used to make
Yeah.
buttons. Remember, Mariah, when we made buttons?
Yeah, and
I would make batik backgrounds for the buttons.
Well, and then remember you had a button maker up at no, it was the schools, and I'm sure that it was still there because it was in the elementary school. And we made buttons at one point in time. I don't know what happened to those buttons. But I kind of remember that, and I was telling Izzy. I was like, oh.
No, but I'm talking about the buttons that I made at Tech.
That I don't really remember. That was earlier on. I was much younger.
And they would take them to the National Art Conference. So my buttons have appeared. Somebody out there may own one of my buttons that I made with my background. It was kind of a puzzle. Remember when I used to do that kind of thing?
Yeah. That kind of sparked something. Maybe this year we should do buttons instead of postcards.
Oh. Well, maybe so.
Go round or go home. This is like, so AOC came up with, I was listening to some of her speech, or she was talking to people prior to her speech. So I don't remember if it was in the conversation prior to the speech or during the speech, because there were a lot of things that were happening yesterday in Selma, Alabama, because they were doing the Selma to Montgomery. Like they recreated the walk. A lot of people were there. I know that Amanda Smiles Takes was there. I just love so much both the Justins. Now they're from, and that's what I love too, is like, so not only is this stuff happening like Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, everybody's getting together. And that was really like AOC's message about, hey, guys, this is all the roads lead to the South. And that was in her speech. That was part of her speech. But then I think when the interview part, she's like, hey, when the flare goes up, we show up. I know. That was a really good one.
But we'll have to, I can't use that one because I don't have room to write her name. But I guess I put AOC down at the bottom. What was it?
When the flare goes up, we show up. Oh, and then Jamie says, can I share my new? Yes, you can. From this moment, despair ends and tactics begin. Banksy.
Okay, now I was writing, so tell me again.
So from this moment, despair ends and tactics begin. Oh, this was the other thing. The fair maps, what was it? I gotta go get it. It's my sticky notes downstairs. I'll be right back. But that kind of applies to the same
Okay.
change in thought.
Okay, but it's too long.
Yeah, that's too long. But here, hold on. Let me go get my.
Okay. I can't fit it in. That would be one for a card. So now Mariah needs to tell me again. Okay. Now I think that looks very festive. And if you can, you know, I don't know, maybe it just needs to be, you need to get rid of the. As a watercolorist, I always think that you should leave some white showing. But I think when you're making backgrounds for buttons, maybe not so much. Because there, can you just, you know, see a circle in that?
All right, so this was from Justin Pearson. You can rig a map, but not a movement.
You can do what?
You can rig a map, but not a movement.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't really like that. I don't know how well this is going.
That's all right.
My background's here.
It isn't good right now, but it will be.
Well, you got to think it's going to be a background.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have words out there. I mean, I want something there that is going to be kind of like, you know, when we're determining what kind of very low contrast backgrounds. Think about that. I like that this is very
Warning.
red.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to grab one of my bigger brushes up here. That's not necessarily a watercolor brush, but it'll work.
Oh, Jane. Oh, okay, so Mo was saying that Banksy used it, but it was maybe not originally from him. Well, and a lot of these things, when folks are saying it, I try to go back and, you know, see if there was an original person that, especially those little clipped out, like, pieces. But in the moment, when I'm writing these down, I've been attributing, you know, from the speech or the interview. And then that one, yeah, was Justin Pearson.
Okay, and then I'm just thinking about, you know, when you get ready to write these, I think that's important too.
Oh, Sherry, and didn't you tell me this one the other day? Voting prevents unwanted presidencies. Yes, P saw that one online, I think, and she was like, "This is hilarious."
And it's so good because it's a reference back to voting. Tell me again.
Prevents unwanted presidencies.
Voting what?
Prevents.
Trying to think how to spell it. I just had a blank moment.
Prevents. I know, I was trying to spell behavior today, and I had issues with spelling
Presidency.
Dencies, yeah, as in plural, but you know. Or you could just say unwanted presidents.
Presidencies. Yes, I think I got it.
Hey, Shauna.
Because I think, you know, I think the feel that I want with these buttons is that I want it to look like, you know, it's kind of, I don't want them to look too professional.
Yeah, they need to be
I
arty.
want them to be a little messy.
Like artivism.
Artivism.
Mm-hmm.
But not, you know.
It's okay. I like these blue ones.
Well, you just have to think about those in the circle.
Circle form.
Circle form, yeah.
I'm going to see if I can maybe find a button maker on like eBay or something. And then for maybe like June and July, because it's like we got a lot of things, but we could do both buttons and postcards for June and July.
All right, let's look at our thing over here. Okay, dark money poisons democracy. We need something green and kind of icky.
Okay, just pause it. Hit the button. Oh, well, you're just going to have to wait for me. Well, did you bring my water back up? She's deeply into washing her squishmallows.
Or what?
Her squishmallows.
Why?
See, that is a very good question. and her answer and my reasoning are kind of, you know, at first we went through all the regular things. Why would you want to wash them? I don't think that they're dirty. I think it's just really just that she wants to wash them because it's a whole thing that she wants to do and she's got in her head and she watched a video online or something. And then I have also explained to her the damage that can come from washing stuffed animals because
yes.
we've been there, we've done that. And I said, and I've been there, I've done that. But then I was like, you know how I know this? Because I did it as a kid. And I'm like, well, maybe.
Can't you start with like one that's not her favorite?
She did. And that's exactly what she did. And I sewed up one of these things today.
Hey, did you show your mama my sewing job on your dragon?
That was
Well,
very kind
why
of-
did you not?
She hadn't thought about it. But I sewed that one up. And I'm very happy that it did because I knew one of these stuffed animals had an injury. Because there was fluffy stuff that I keep finding around. She digs it out. But I think she realized if she wanted to wash that stuff, it needed to be repaired. She knows things.
I put start conversations, then listen.
No, that's a good button.
Isn't that?
Yeah.
But look, isn't this is the dark money poisons democracy.
Oh, here we go. We're getting more information now. From this moment, despair ends and tactics begin is a slogan from the Revolution of Everyday Life by the situationist philosopher Raoul Vaneigem. Vaneigem. That's what I want to say. I don't know if that's right or not. And then Sophia says she loves that they are called buttons in the U.S. We call them badges. Oh, see, we've had this conversation before, and I love it because that is very funny because it's funny to us. Because like badges to us are patches.
Or like the Marshall wears.
Yeah, a badge would be something official.
Yes, it would be something that.
Although we are quite official in our own minds. We should have artivist badges.
Word.
Oh, and then okay, so we call them badges. In scrapbooking, they call them flair. Oh, well, yeah, flair. That's from the movie. See, I'd never heard flair before until The Office, the movie, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, because they went to, basically it was like the TGI Fridays, and they had to have a certain number of buttons, which was flair. And there was a minimum, and then this was Jennifer Aniston having the conversation with the dumb manager guy. Anyway, that was good stuff. All right, sorry. Buttons are just things that do up your shirt here. Oh, yes, buttons. Oh, maybe you would say button for a lift. Yes, like you push a button. We sing it like sugar babes. But do you say button for things like doorbells and elevator lifts? Yes, doorbells are just doorbells.
Yeah.
You'd probably say button for the lift. Okay, there we go. There's a... Yeah, our Boy Scouts, Girl Scout badges. Oh, that's true. Yes, those would be badges. Could you earn those? Those are different than just regular patches. Patches usually just kind of indicate something. Okay, so Sophia says, so she used to collect the badges when she was a small kid, and her favorite one was save gas, fart in a bottle. But see, our 8-year-old selves also thought that was funny.
Very much so.
Very much so. And actually, I think could be appropriate in these times. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Well, Chucky Darnson, I don't think any of these are going to be dry enough to write on them.
That's okay. We are coming up on our, hour and a half.
Okay, now I'm going to do one just in brown.
That would be good for the, save gas. Fart in a bottle. Sorry.
See if we can make a real pretty brown here.
Oh, what was the thing that I sent my brother today? Maybe we can put that onto a little badgy badge thing.
Kind of just going through my browns here. And
so, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Desmond Tutu. I don't know if we can condense that down a little bit, but maybe like not participate.
Your silence gives permission.
There we go. That's the one. I know it had been, we just needed to. Mm-hmm.
Yes, a lot of that. I was listening to it's a history thing, and they had Hannah Arendt. Arendt. And that is one of the things that she said.
Mm-hmm.
Silence gives someone permission. This is brick red. Let's see what brick red looks like. That's kind of one of those. I think that that's a beautiful brown.
As browns go. There's no need for raw umber or burn umber when you got Van Dyke. I would like that on a button.
Good old Van.
Good old Van. Sure, I wasn't sure. I don't know. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. I know. she's doing her best to ignore me. She might laugh in a minute.
I'm focusing.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that? I just think that brown is just wonderful. I think this red's going to be really good too. Okay, folks, I've run out of room. All right, so let me read you my little things over here. Dark money poisons democracy. Start conversations, then listen. Am I looking at the problem? Question mark. When did his lies become our reality?
Mm-hmm.
Go round or go home? How much exactly does that mean?
What?
Are we talking about the shape of the button?
Mm-hmm.
When the flare goes up, we show up. I like that one. Voting prevents unwanted presidencies. Your silence gives permission.
Ooh, also, hey, okay, let me read through that one fabulous thing that I found, because Chad, the godless gardener, posted it the other day. It was basically a screenshot of a conversation over there on a platform that I do not go to. So I do appreciate that some bring it over into the things that I do consume. That is much appreciated in life. Because I just, don't have the time and energy and my brain power to deal with all that other nonsense. But when somebody says, I don't do politics, well, baby, politics is going to do you regardless. Love that. Voting 101. 9 people on a bus. 3 vote to drive the bus over a cliff. 2 vote to get ice cream. 4 don't bother to vote. Everyone dies. Like it or not, you're on the bus with everyone else. Make your voice heard. There we go. That's a good one. Make your voice heard. And then the harm reduction approach means it's not always about the ice cream. The people abstaining for moral purity reasons, and I know some of these people. I'm related to some of these people. It bothers me. I'd only vote for a vegan ice cream parlor, are functionally equivalent to those abstaining because they are okay with either option. The ice cream not being very good does not mean driving off the cliff is somehow better. There you go. I loved that. And I'm glad I got to read it.
Me too. This may be the poison one.
Okay. It's giving the poison vibes. I like the green as more poison. I always feel like green represents poison.
This is a small button size matters. The guy a little carried away with that one there. Trying to make it somehow fit the...
Yes. Yes.
I have to be careful. This is really not high quality watercolor paper.
No, you're pushing it.
This is a little...
Yeah, there's a little boop out there. Boop. All right, my friends. This has been the call. We even arted today a bit because once again, we cannot find the postcards. I swear it's not like a bit. It just is how things are around here. If she finds them again, I will remove them from her hands and put them into mine. Or did we already do that? And then that's why. Did we already do that? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't remember.
There was discussion about that, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, just had a little moment there. All right, we will be back. Okay, Sunday. So yes, if you are, part of the PM crew and you want to, do more art stuff, I will be on tomorrow. That is Mariah Makes Mondays with Magical Mayhem. That's not the title, but that's what I remember. This is how my brain works. Love y'all. Thanks for calling with us.
I'm going to watch the weather.
She's going to watch weather.
Weather is there's a lot of weather out there lately.
Yeah. Oh, there was discussion even prior to this. That there was weather.
Yesterday I just watched, they were getting golf ball size hail in Nebraska.
Size matters. All right, guys. See you later. Thanks for hanging. Caw.